I just want to preface this video by saying I made this video back in 2021 for one of my other channels, and since this is a dedicated gaming channel, I thought a remastered version of this video belonged here. I feel like everything I bring up in this video still correlates to today, so without further ado, let's get into this video. Call of Duty Vanguard was released on November 5th, 2021 to all the modern consoles. Vanguard is the 18th installment to the Call of Duty franchise. There is no doubting that Vanguard comes with a mixed bag of thoughts and opinions, but I think the mass majority of people would agree that it's once again a minor miracle that we got another Call of Duty with all the pandemic issues and developer issues this game has had. Sledgehammer is the main developer of this game, but they did have help along the way from Raven Software and Treyarch. Treyarch actually took over the Zombies mode late into the development cycle of this game, but we'll touch on that subject in a little bit. Throughout this video, we will be talking about the multiplayer, the campaign, and the Zombies mode of this game. Without further ado, let's get into it. From what I have seen online, Vanguard's multiplayer has received praise from a lot of fans of the Call of Duty series. I think it's rightfully so too. I have played just about every Call of Duty throughout my life, and I have to say that Vanguard's multiplayer is one of the better iterations. I really like how Sledgehammer wasn't too strict about the World War II era guns and attachments to the weapons in this game. I feel like it makes for a way more enjoyable experience. There is no doubt that Vanguard isn't a true depiction of the events of World War II, which is honestly fine with me. We've honestly had enough true depictions of World War II in video games, so it's nice to have a game that gives that era a bit more leniency when it comes to the weapons and kill streaks. It really adds to the replayability of the multiplayer mode. The new feature that was added into Vanguard's multiplayer is the combat pacing, which allows players to select what type of lobbies that they want to enter while playing multiplayer. The tactical mode is just your basic 6v6 COD lobby, where Assault is a 10v10 or a 12v12 lobby, and finally Blitz is a 24v24 lobby. You can select to have all these active when you're searching for games, which I always do. That way you have a wide variety of lobbies to play in, so if you play a 6v6 and the next one may be a 24v24, it really adds a good amount of variety throughout your playthrough in any given night. Probably one of the funnest modes I have played in multiplayer is the new Champion Hill mode. Champion Hill is the spiritual successor of the 2v2 or 3v3 mode that Cold War implemented in last year's game, and I would say that Champion Hill has improved upon the formula and has added even more replayability to this type of mode, because you actually get to pick your perks, weapons, armor, etc. at the start of each game, and as you move through the rounds you get to buy back lives and add to your perks and even score streaks. It takes out any repetitiveness that Cold War 2v2 may have had. I've only ever played the 2v2 mode for Champion Hill, but it does offer a 1v1 or 3v3 option if you're interested in that. I'm also pleasantly surprised that this game launched with 20 total multiplayer maps, 16 for standard multiplayer maps, and 4 for Champion Hill. The only remade maps added for this game are Castle and Dome from World War II, and Shipment from mini CODs from COD 4 to COD Remastered to I believe even Modern Warfare 2019. Everyone knows what Shipment is at this point. I believe this is the first time though that Castle has been remade for any game since its initial release for World at War in 2008, and it may also be the same case for Dome, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's nice to see a few iconic maps get re-released on modern hardware. It is so nice to actually have map variety when you are playing for a few hours. This game has not gotten too repetitive throughout my playthroughs, which has been very nice. If I had to pick a few favorite maps that are new to Vanguard, I'd have to say those maps are Decoy, Hotel Royale, and the Eagle's Nest. Gunsmith is also back in Vanguard, and there's not much more to say about it. It's very similar to Cold War's and Modern Warfare system, which are both decent systems. Overall, multiplayer has been very solid in Vanguard. I have no real complaints about it at all. Every game mode I have played has been enjoyable and fun. I have found myself spending a lot of time playing the longer game modes such as Patrol, which is a new game type to this game as far as I know, along with Domination and Hardpoint. I've also spent plenty of time playing 2v2 with a good buddy of mine. We spent plenty of time playing the 2v2 mode last year, so it's fun to kind of pick that up once again this year for Vanguard. With all that said, Vanguard's multiplayer has been a pleasant surprise, and I definitely plan on playing it throughout the coming months into the next Call of Duty release. I for one always enjoy Call of Duty campaigns. I think I've played every single one since COD 4. With that said, I have to say Vanguard's campaign was pretty bland. I definitely don't think it was bad, but it definitely wasn't memorable. I enjoyed it enough while playing it, but by the end it did feel like a bit of a chore. I think that was mainly due to the style of the story the game was trying to tell. The campaign has the main storyline of our heroes near the end of World War II, but the bulk of the campaign was just flashback missions for each character. That way you get to know one of them a little bit better. By the 4th character, I was over the flashback missions, I truly was. I just no longer cared. The cast of characters were pretty enjoyable, but I definitely don't see any of them becoming COD legends anytime soon, such as Soap and Ghost and Price and Mason and Woods and that whole list of what we put in the COD legend category. The campaign probably would have worked better if it was more focused on the main storyline for the bulk of the playthrough with minimal flashbacks to give a little bit of depth. It was fairly entertaining to have 4 main characters be from different countries, yet still be a part of the Allied powers. You have your loudmouth American pilot guy, the British guy who was the leader, the fast-talking Australian, and finally the brooding Soviet lady. I think the Soviet lady, aka Lady Nightingale, had the most playthrough time in the campaign though. It really felt like they spent a lot of time on that character, and I get why they did that though. I believe the character is loosely based on a real-life Soviet woman whose name I cannot pronounce, but you can see it on screen, and her nickname was Lady Death. She was a real-life Soviet sniper, and I think her Wikipedia said that she had like 309 confirmed kills, the most ever by any female sniper. So yeah, so if Lady Nightingale was based on Lady Death, I get why they wanted to do that, because I don't think her story's been told too much, so it was pretty neat, I guess, to see it in a Call of Duty campaign. The other characters though, I don't think they were really based on anyone. They were just random people from whatever country they're from. And of course, this can't be a World War II Call of Duty campaign without having some evil Nazis to defeat, which in all honesty, it really never gets old. I did like how this game did tackle the very tail end of World War II though, which not a lot of games or movies really do. It will be interesting to see if they bring back this group of characters for a sequel of some sorts. The end of the campaign really felt like they could have been setting up a sequel of them hunting Nazis throughout the late 40s into the early 50s, but we'll see if Sledgehammer goes back to World War II again after this game. Overall, Vanguard's campaign was fairly fun, but not too memorable. I thought the storyline was a bit clunky and lazy since they mainly relied on flashbacks, and the main storyline really only went on for a short time. The wayward group of Allied powers was an interesting idea, but I felt like there could have been a bit more conflict within the group to add some more interest to it, but it really wasn't that big of a deal overall. To wrap up and reiterate what I said earlier, I definitely don't see these characters becoming COD legends anytime soon, but the overall campaign was fairly enjoyable nonetheless. Okay, time for zombies. There is no beating around the bush this year. Vanguard Zombies is horrible. It is the laziest and most uninspiring zombies mode that Call of Duty has ever released. Advanced Warfare Zombies is even better than this garbage. Stew on that one for a second. I know Treyarch came in very late into the development of this game and they took over the zombies mode, which I'm sure it wasn't an easy task, but they were way better off just not even releasing zombies this year or doing it at a later date, because what they gave us on release is atrocious. All Vanguard Zombies is going through a few portals, completing a few stupid tasks, and that's it. That's all. There's literally nothing else to do. Vanguard Zombies doesn't even have your classic round-based zombies. Yes, Vanguard Zombies technically has rounds, but it isn't the usual round-based zombies that everyone knows and loves. It is just a sad and bare game that should not even be in Vanguard. It is just bad. And to make things even worse, it feels like Cold War Zombies, but way worse. Like, why even play this mode at all? Just go play Cold War Zombies if you want to play that feel and that same type of style. But honestly, Vanguard makes Cold War Zombies look like the best iteration of COD Zombies ever created. And that's high praise for me because I didn't even really like Cold War Zombies all that much. Vanguard Zombies is so bare bones that the game doesn't even have a Pack-a-Punch camo. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. World at War, which came out in 2008, even had a Pack-a-Punch camo for their packed weapons. There are no excuses for how bad Vanguard Zombies is. I know they can update the game and maybe zombies will get better in the coming months, but I highly doubt it will. I think this iteration of zombies is just a lost cause and it was dead on arrival and should never have been put in this game. I'm sure I missed some other aggravating things about Vanguard Zombies, but it is just plain and simple not good. There's honestly nothing else to say about it other than go play a better zombies mode from better days gone by, because Vanguard Zombies just ain't it. To try and wrap up this whole video, I'd have to say I am mostly pleased with COD Vanguard. Other than the zombies mode, I don't really have too many complaints with this game. Vanguard's multiplayer is the standout feature of this game, which is a good thing when it comes to Call of Duty titles. If Sledgehammer keeps trending in the correct direction, I think Vanguard's multiplayer could be remembered fondly for years to come. The zombies and campaign, on the other hand, probably will not be. But honestly, who knows what type of update zombies will receive in the upcoming months. I'd have to give Call of Duty Vanguard a solid 6.5 out of 10. If the zombies were better, it would would probably be a 7.5 out of 10. Now the main question going into this video was if Vanguard was good. And I have to say, yeah, it's good. It has been enjoyable to play through thus far. Okay, with all that said, what are your thoughts on Call of Duty Vanguard? Let me know down in the comment section below, and while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a great day.